Hi there. I'm back here again today, and today it's particularly interesting. I'm going to be doing a continuation on I'm now calling it the Future series, and I'm going to try and keep this video short. The last one was a little long, but I'll do my best to keep this short. Yes, like I said in the last video, I'm preoccupied with the future because it's one of the things that's not waiting for us. It's going to happen whether or not we're waiting for it, we're expecting it, or we're resisting it. It is a constant. It will happen. And I've understood now already that look, pretty smart people anticipate the future. I mean, when I say pretty smart, yeah, they know that look, if I'm going to optimize, and that's a word, I need to know what's coming. All right, but there is a level that is beyond this pretty smartness. I personally think if you're going to thrive in the world that is coming, you need to be able to simulate the future and not just optimize and not just anticipate it. By simulating, can you be able to run scenarios, spot trends, identify patterns, put all of these things together? And I said a little of that in the last video. Put all of these things together, run a scenario, take an isolated event, run it all the way to the end, and see what impacts, how that could end, and how that end can affect you, what part of your life, what area of your life that end is going to affect. So I think really, if we really want to survive in a level of change, the level of transformation, yeah, that's the word again, that the future is bringing, we will need to be able to simulate. But that's not even my biggest concern about the future. My biggest concern is the evolution of intelligence. I mean, the concept, one of the biggest knocks, one concept that will receive one of the biggest knocks in this dispensation is the idea of knowledge. I personally think that we're coming into the post-knowledge or post-information age. Well, I'm not the one thinking it. I think it's already out there. Post-information, there is a proliferation of knowledge and information now, and with the advent of AI, the repository of knowledge is actually changing. We used to think that the smartest person in the house is the person who has requisite information or knowledge. Now think of it, all the knowledge that I can have right now about the subject matter is already available online. It means that the repository of that knowledge is really no longer me, in quotes. AI has the capacity to be a repository for knowledge right now. What that means is, I mean, this is me just thinking again, and it's one way to look at it. The idea of intelligence, although over time it's always been evolving, but right now we see the evolution take a quantum leap, right? Because I mean, what intelligence was in the Stone Age is not the same thing that intelligence was when you talk about the ability to adapt and survive in one's time. When you I was gonna say reduce, but when you quantify intelligence as that, right, you will now realize that look, it evolved. It began to evolve from the Stone Age to the Agrarian Age. The level of complex thoughts that it takes for large-scale farming is different from the complexity of thoughts and ideation that's required for hunter-gathering lifestyle. And then by the time we came into the industrial age, sophistication changed. The idea of intelligence changed. In fact, it was in the industrial age that the concept of jobs, right, the idea of jobs and careers now came in. You used to have vocations, life skills, right? But the idea of jobs and careers that you have to study for something came in the industrial age, and as that age continued to grow, the idea of knowledge, the idea of intelligence, what it meant to be an intelligent person, continued to change. Now, this is where I'm actually going. I didn't want to keep this too long. The idea of intelligence is one of the biggest culprits of the advent of AI, because if if the amount of knowledge that is repository in me, the amount of knowledge I've been able to acquire over time, had been the measure of my intelligence, what happens now when that's knowledge and a lot more of it, AI can actually aggregate it? Who then is the intelligent person of the future? Now, this is what I'm going to say. The intelligent person of the future may no longer be the person who can aggregate knowledge. Well, who has that knowledge, who can just store it up in their head. It may not be the professor anymore. It may not be the guy who's learning, studying. I'm just saying this is one way to look at it. The intelligent person of the future may just be the person who can manipulate knowledge. This is it. So I don't need to own it, but I need to be able to blend it. The intelligent person, I read somewhere that, look, being able to leverage the internet, being able to leverage technology is now even much more important skill in place of work than reading and writing. Because reading and writing, like I said in my last video, has been abdicated to something else. There are apps that can hold that's in quote skill sets, and our basic reading and writing used to be a test of intelligence in our time. So what I'm trying to say is that intelligence, even as a concept, is evolving, and you've got to understand this, that look, it is evolving. I mean, I'm sitting inside 3 or 4 walls, top-to-base shelves of books. I'd always prided myself on the fact that I like to read, and I would always continue to do that. But I'm now beginning to understand that, look, get this. The denominator for intelligence in this world that you're coming into, in this future that you're stepping into, is not in the fact that you can acquire knowledge. No. It's not in the fact that you own it, it's in your head or you can teach it. No. The intelligent person of the future may just be either of these two people. One person who would learn to blend knowledge, who would learn to leverage technology to blend knowledge across different places to make something new, or somebody who holds a particular kind of expertise that cannot be quantified in paper terms as regular knowledge. So I'm saying this, that if you're chasing knowledge in the future, you should know the kind of knowledge you're chasing, because the intelligent person of the future may not be the man who has crammed a lot of stuff, or no, let me be very just, who knows a lot of stuff. May just be the person who can take everything that is known and cross it together to become something that is impossibly new. Yeah, intelligence is evolving, and right now we're sitting in the very heart of it. Maybe I should tell you welcome to the future.